Classes back in session. New tonight, following its recent ransomware attack, the University of the Bahamas has resumed online classes as part of a phased recovery. We'll tell you what officials are doing to prevent further breaches. Plus, after evading capture for 7 years, Perry Pickering faces a judge in a shocking 2017 double murder case. But first,
marital rape and sex crimes against children. Tonight on our news, a local faith leader and advocate are speaking out, saying more needs to be done to protect the vulnerable in our society. It's coming up tonight.
Then in our news at 7:30, we'll tell you how a restaurant manager's swift actions turned an ordinary day into a life-saving rescue. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendino Knowles. A 5-year prison sentence for a man who pleaded guilty to molesting his 3-year-old twin daughters has sparked outrage in the community. The verdict has ignited a firestorm on social media, many decrying what they call a shockingly lenient punishment for such a heinous crime. Tonight, the Bahamas Christian Council renewing calls for stiffer penalties for sex offenders. Joshua Williams gets us started.
The shocking case of a father who was jailed for 5 years for sexually abusing his twin daughters sparking outrage. According to court documents, the twins slept in the same bed as their father in July 2024. Their then 15-year-old sister, who slept in an adjacent bed in the same room, woke up and saw her father touching the toddlers in a sexual way. Bahamas Christian Council President Delton Fernando calling the case shocking.
As a father, I was enraged. I really, reading the headlines saying, what have we come to? How toxic a society. And this seems to be from last year ending to now.
The case also reinitiates discussions about doing more to protect the vulnerable in society. Fernando is among those who believe there needs to be stiffer penalties.
I think it could have been stronger. It could have been a stronger penalty for more years, maybe. But I'm unaware of what the minimum and the maximum for this crime is by law, and maybe it warrants a conversation to adjust the law.
Government has tried to intervene, passing the Protection Against Violence Bill. Community leaders and advocates have also done their part to raise awareness about sex crimes. But what about the church?
Pastors are being trained professionally by psychiatrists to be better able to deal with intervention. So when cases come up and conversations come up and we are speaking and counseling, we could be better trained.
Now, when situations like this arise, many ask the question, why hasn't the sexual offenders list been made public?
I think there may be some caveats to the law of who they can make and what. I mean, because knowing from being on the crime council, there are some minors who might have been caught in back of the locker. One might have been of age, one might not have been of age, and they will make the list. Is that something that went to court? No. Was it something? You see, there are complex narratives that are taking place.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Josh. After a 7-year run from the law, double murder suspect Perry Pickering has finally pleaded not guilty. The 32-year-old who was deported from Florida in September 2024 is charged in connection with the brutal September 15, 2017 killings that shocked the country. On the day, 23-year-old Dennis Moss was fatally shot during a foot chase, while 8-year-old Eugene Woodside Jr. tragically lost his life when a stray bullet pierced his family's home as he was doing homework. Pickering set to appear before Justice Dale Fitzpatrick on February 17th for a fixture hearing. And here's another twist. This latest development comes nearly a year after a Supreme Court judge revoked bail for Lloyd Minnis. Minnis is the alleged getaway driver, and he was denied bail for the 3rd time. Minnis's legal saga has been a roller coaster. He was first released on $50,000 bail in February 2018, only to have it revoked in November 2018 after prosecutors say he cut off his ankle bracelet. He was later released on $20,000 bail in April 2021, but that bail revoked again in October 2021 for failing to comply with reporting conditions. After further delays in his case, Minnis was granted bail once more in August 2022, with his trial now expected to happen sometime this month. Online classes at UB are back, and officials at University of the Bahamas say they're making significant headway in restoring network access following a ransomware attack on February 2nd. Representatives confirmed in a statement that online classes resumed Monday as part of a carefully phased recovery plan. They also announced enhanced security measures are now in place to help fend off future breaches and urged students, faculty, and staff to visit the university's website for the latest updates and guidance on the restoration process. All right, you may notice some odd-looking cars driving around your town in the coming weeks. It's all part of the Google Street View Coverage Project. In collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, World Travel 360 plans to capture 360-degree street view imagery of over 3,500 miles of key tourist areas on 16 of our major islands. By the end of it, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation Chester Cooper says more than 2 million geolocated 360-degree images of the country will be featured on Google Maps.
I think overall it's an opportunity to infuse more the use of technology into our overall offering, where someone sitting in Berlin or in Quebec City can really have a full 360 view of what's happening in the Bahamas, the sights and the scenes. And they are capturing content here in Nassau today, but will move around the Family Islands.
And some of the planned areas to be featured include Nassau's downtown and Montague Beach, Grand Bahama's Port Lucaya Marketplace and Peterson Key National Park, and Abaco's Marsh Harbor Green Turtle Key and Cherokee Sound. As for the potential impact,
for example, if we can show that Potter's Key, for example, is a bustling hub of local activity with food and art and culture, someone might be inspired to take a drive from their hotel there. So this is an opportunity to give snapshots really in living color and movement to some of the things we talk about often. They say a picture paints 1,000 words. I believe a 360 picture will paint 360,000 words, if you will.
All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg, maybe with this new Google Street View project, you could actually bring up the street in your weather graphics.
I'm hoping we can get to that. The technology can be integrated, so
yeah, it would be good to see.
It'd be nice. Yeah.
It would be good to see specific areas, right? Yeah.
Well, you know that tranquil weather we've been talking about, it continues. Dry air mass in place and high pressure system still in control of our weather. Beautiful evening setting up on the outside, 76 degrees with a few clouds. It winds out of the east at 10 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 76. Temperatures right now across the island chain, 75 in Freeport as well as in Great Harbor Key. Pick up 73 in the Marsh Harbor, Abaco. 76s, Alistown, Bimini here in the capital and in Governor's Harbor. Nickel San Andros, 77. Pick up more 77s in Kemps Bay, Deadman's Key, 75s, Arthurstown, Cat Island, Coburn Downs, and Salvador. Georgetown, the Exuma, 78, and into the southeast Bahamas. Upper 70s there with 78, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Delectable Bay, and Matthewtown, Inagua. 77s once again in Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, and Abrahams Bay, and our very good neighbors to the southeast, Turks and Caicos Islands. Your temperature right now is 79. Satellite radar composite, rinse and repeat. High pressure in charge, dry air mass in place. We still have some patchy moisture moving out of the Atlantic across the area. So we're seeing some spotty showers. Most of that will be dying off as the evening comes. But it's a beautiful night on the outside. There's a full moon expected tomorrow morning. So if you want to get out early in the morning, you get a very good look at the moon. It should be nice. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still coming.
Coming up in sports, the BAISS basketball finals gets underway. We'll tell you who took control in Game 1.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here, and you can see I'm filming new episodes here in one of the Family Islands, the one that has the pink snow. If you missed last season, you can catch it right now on our TV, Cable Bahamas, channel 212, with Dorian Missick and Simone Missick, Gibton. We had AJR and Cuba. So catch the repeats of the Charlie Bahama show, and just rest assured, I'm out here working hard for for the new season.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the lives.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. Game 1 set the tone for each of the BAISS Championship Series as the finals got underway yesterday at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. The St. John's College Giants Junior Girls and Senior Boys, the Jordan Prince William Falcons Junior Boys, and the Kingsway Academy Saints Senior Girls are now all one way a win from their respective championship titles. In the final game of the night, the Giants Senior Boys pulled away in the second half for a 76-60 win over the Queens College Comets. The Giants also won the first game of the afternoon when their junior girls defeated the C.W. Saunders Cougars 34-20. In the senior girls division, the Saints had the most dominant performance of the night with a 40-19 win over the Giants. And finally, in the junior boys division, the Falcons defeated the Giants 51-42. Game 2 in each series continues Wednesday at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium beginning at 4 p.m.
Whether it's the addition of Jimmy Butler, surviving the trade deadline, or preparing for the three-point shootout, Buddy Hield is back on track. Hield finished with 16 points and 7 rebounds in his Golden State Warriors 125-111 win over the Milwaukee Bucks last night at the Pfizer Forum in Wisconsin. He shot 7 for 15 from the field, 2 from 8 from 3, and played over 28 minutes for the fourth consecutive game.
No matter the season, no matter the records, if there's one thing Coach Yo will have Ole Miss ready to do, it's beat the Kentucky Wildcats. And I'm not even taking it personally. Ole Miss defeated the number 8 Wildcats 66-57 at the SJB Pavilion last night in Mississippi. They improved to 16-7, 7-4 in the SEC. That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as U.S. President Donald Trump sets the stage for new tariffs. Plus, is it Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America? Why your Google Maps will now show you both. And we'll tell you the latest inflation move as grocers limit egg cartons per customer when Our News returns.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here, and you can see I'm filming new episodes here in one of the Family Islands, the one that has the pink snow. If you missed last season, you can catch it right now on our TV, Cable Bahamas, channel 212, with Dorian Missick and Simone Missick, Gibton. We had AJR and Cuba. So catch the repeats of the Charlie Bahama show, and just rest assured, I'm out here working hard for the new season.
Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. United States President Donald Trump announced Monday that he's gearing up to impose reciprocal tariffs on other countries within the next 2 days. Speaking from the Oval Office, he signed proclamations that end all the exemptions on steel and aluminum tariffs from his first term, now raising those duties to 25%. He also hinted that tariffs on cars, semiconductor chips, and pharmaceuticals could be next.
If done properly, and we're going to try and do that, we don't want it to hurt other countries, but they've been taking advantage of us for years and years and years, and they've charged us tariffs. Most of them have charged us, almost everyone, I would say, almost without exception.
That's right.
They've charged us, and we haven't charged them, and it's time to be reciprocal. So you'll be hearing that word a lot, reciprocal. If they charge us, we charge them.
That was U.S. President Donald Trump, who announced Monday that he's gearing up to impose reciprocal tariffs on other countries within the next 2 days. He was speaking from the Oval Office and also hinted that tariffs on cars, semiconductor chips, and pharmaceuticals could be next. Meanwhile, at a global AI summit in Paris, as you see there, dozens of countries, including France, China, and India, signed on to a statement promoting an open, ethical approach to artificial intelligence. But the United Kingdom and the United States held back. The UK said concerns over national security and global governance kept it from signing, while U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance warned that overregulation could stifle a booming industry.
And let me be emphatic about this point. America wants to partner with all of you, and we want to embark on the AI revolution before us with a spirit of openness and collaboration. But to create that kind of trust, we need international regulatory regimes that fosters the creation of AI technology rather than strangles it. And we need our European friends in particular to look to this new frontier with optimism rather than trepidation.
Google Maps now shows the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America for U.S. users only. The change came after the U.S. Interior Department updated its geographic names information system following President Trump's executive order to restore names that he says honor American greatness. Meanwhile, in Mexico, the app still displays Gulf of Mexico, and elsewhere you'll see it as Gulf of Mexico with Gulf of America in parentheses. Mexico has slammed the renaming, arguing that the U.S. lacks the authority to make the change. Grocers across the U.S. also capping egg sales to 1 carton per customer each day as the bird flu outbreak squeezes supplies. Stores like Kroger, Costco, and even Walmart are tweaking how many eggs you can buy. The shortage comes as millions of chickens are culled due to avian flu, sending egg prices soaring and expected to jump another 20% this year. Even restaurants like Waffle House say they are feeling the pinch, adding extra charges per egg. Over 24 Christian and Jewish groups filed a federal lawsuit Tuesday against a new Trump administration policy which gives immigration agents broader authority to make arrests at houses of worship. They argue the policy infringes on religious freedom and ability to minister to everyone regardless of legal status. Meanwhile, the Trump administration continues to defend the policy as a continuation of long-standing practices. And Guyana's Ministry of Home Affairs has issued a firm reminder that every foreign national entering or leaving the country must follow proper immigration procedures. In a statement released this week, the ministry warned that anyone in Guyana without a valid entry stamp could face deportation, and those departing without clearance might be denied re-entry or even banned. Officials say the measures seek to enforce immigration laws and safeguard national security. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was February 11th. Then in our news at 7:30, we follow up yesterday's tuition tussle in the Senate as the foreign minister defends the $800,000 in payouts for the children of Bahamian diplomats. Plus, Kong controversy. As experts warn of a decline, why fishermen say they disagree. Find out why when our news returns.
week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me, Italia Hall, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Unleash resilience. Secure the digital future. Navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats. The future will be secured. Presenting the
On this day in Bahamian history in 1938, Edward Clement Bethel was born in Nassau. A classically trained pianist from London, Bethel became a cherished cultural icon in the Bahamas. He dedicated his life to promoting indigenous Bahamian music, co-writing and directing the Independence pageant that celebrated the nation's journey to independence in 1973, composing the folk opera Sammy Swain, and writing many beloved songs. Though he passed away at 49, his legacy lives on through his daughter Nicolette Bethel and the annual National Arts Festival named in his honor. And in 1998, government announced its plan to privatize the Bahamas Telecommunications Corporation, Batelco, in a communication to the House of Assembly. It would be another 13 years before government sold 51% of the company to Cable and Wireless Communications, CWC, and received $210 million from the sale, plus dividends. Uriah McPhee Primary School, lit with energy during its annual Career Day Tuesday, welcoming students from Sandilands and Thelma Gibson Primary Schools. This year's theme, Igniting New Minds, Exploring Horizons, had curious young minds exploring diverse career paths. And of course, our news was there, joining forces with Bahamas National Trust, Adastra Gardens, Royal Bahamas Police Force, Fire Services, and several other local businesses. This as students eagerly visited interactive booths. And ours was one of them. Digital reporters Timothy Bain and Daniela Dorset got to show the kids the ABCs of news gathering. Let's take a look at how some of the future stars did.
What is your role at Sandland Primary School?
Well, since I'm wearing this vest, I have to, patrol the school areas, make sure kids don't get hurt.
Are you liking it?
Yeah, so far so good.
What is your favorite part about it?
That I get to wear this red vest and be nice to kids and keep the school environment safe.
All right. Vice Principal Joyce Brown was excited to see the engagement from her students, and she shared the vision behind exposing the kids to various career paths.
Well, I think it's very important for the children to be exposed to also blue-collar jobs rather than white-collar jobs.
All right, ever heard of a Valentine's Day tree? Well, the Rolls sisters have done it again, transforming one of their Christmas trees from their annual competition into a hearts-inspired masterpiece. We end this half hour with this report from our Sasha Lightbourne.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Did you know that a Christmas tree can be used for Valentine's Day too? One of the Rolls sisters, Denise Hinsey, decided to do just that, transforming her 2024 Christmas tree into a tree for Valentine's Day.
This is a season of love. And first of all, God is love. John 3:16, he sent his only son. 1 John 4:19, he loved us first. And so, with that in mind, and Valentine is the season of love, I said I would do a Valentine tree. But this is not my first Valentine tree.
Joined by her husband Clarence and older sister Pamela, Hinsey took us through her thought process for the design.
I went with a different design, red and white, with just flowers and roses, which all resembles love.
The tree also has a deeper meaning.
My daughter, Clarissa Deborah, she passed the day after Valentine, and so this tree is also in memory of her. And so we just want to remember her, as we always do during this time, this special time.
For those wondering when Hinsey plans on taking the tree down,
that depends. If my husband pushed me, I might have to take it down in a month or two. But I'll probably take it down before Easter.
Reporting for our news, I'm Sasha Lightborn.
All right, thanks so much for that, Sasha. If you want to watch that story again, and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is Atalia Hall with the latest headlines. Atalia, good to have you back in the chair. Happy Tuesday. I just have a question. Have you ever had or seen a Valentine's Day tree?
I have not. That was the first. So really interesting story. It made me smile.
And you know what? I just have to send a special shout out to the Rhodes sisters. We have been following their story. Our Sasha Lightborn, she's been following their story for quite a bit. So it's good to see them coming now with this innovation in trees.
All right, thanks so much, Ken. Well, we are following yesterday's tuition tussle in the Senate plus controversy. Experts warn of a decline, but fishermen say they disagree. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our news, live at 7:30, a quick-thinking restaurant manager leads a life-saving rescue. Our Daniel Miller has an inspiring story coming up. Plus, a man accused of stabbing his wife pleads guilty. We have the latest. Also, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell fires back at the opposition on education spending for the children of diplomats. We have his full comments straight ahead. And later, pressure builds for legislation to criminalize marital rape. Human Rights Bahamas speaks when our news returns.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey as an environmental advocate began with a simple yet profound realization that our environment is degrading right in front of my eyes. And being NT's Youth Ambassador for the Environment means that my words and my actions hold the power to help change the environment and the world around me. I find it exciting that I can be a student, live my life, and use my words and my voice to change the environment and world around me. Most times I think it's a privilege. It's our environment and it's our generation to own. I don't think as a young person that there is anything more rewarding than being a part of bringing awareness. I'm Michaela Kerr, and I'm making a difference in my own words.
Every season creates an opportunity for you to enjoy the comfort and security of your most valuable assets. Unfortunately, termites are common and very unwanted guests that never stop eating. With Struckham, you can enjoy the peace of mind as we protect your investment with our 3-year fumigation warranty. Struckham, #1 in pest control services.
Diet-friendly special.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Superheroes not only live in the pages of comic books, but they walk amongst us daily. In this report, our Daniel Miller tells us about a restaurant manager whose quick thinking orchestrated a rescue that saved a visitor's life.
I was at the bar with my bartenders, employees, talking about the evening that's coming up and the Super Bowl party that we're going to have. And I heard some screaming over by the marina. And then the next thing I knew, I saw my manager, Daryl Bain, jump into the pier and jump into the water with his clothes on to save a young man's life who was drowning.
That was the scene that unfolded on Saturday at Hurricane Hole Marina. As the guests floated in the marina, Daryl sprang into action.
I went underneath, you have to be a quick thinker. He's bleeding, this is a marina, so lots of stuff is in there. So I put him up on my shoulder. Wayne Elliott, my bartender, shout outs to Wayne Elliott. Just pull him up, resuscitate him, lay him on the side, bring him to.
As Daryl and Wayne worked to resuscitate the victim, the restaurant's owner went to the police station and told another staffer to call an ambulance. Daryl is now being called a hero, but he says he was simply doing the right thing.
I don't know, something just struck me, and just went and helped her and just saved a person, that's all.
Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, such an inspiring story. Thanks so much for that, Danny. And now to news from the courts. A man accused of stabbing his wife has pleaded guilty to attempted murder. Idolat Gustav allegedly stabbed his wife, Christina Paul, at their home on Golden Isles Road on October 6, 2024. He's expected to return to court on February 18th for sentencing. Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell hitting back at opposition Senate leader Darren Henfield, who revealed that taxpayers are spending over $800,000 a year on tuition for children of Foreign Service officers. The revelation coming during debate on the Foreign Services bill in the Senate yesterday. Henfield served as Foreign Affairs Minister under the Minnis administration, but claims there's been a major jump in payouts. Mitchell says it's a standard practice, that it was a rule even when Henfield was minister. Today, Henfield broke down the numbers, saying while it is a normal practice, it's too much.
They provide that Foreign Service officers deployed with children are entitled to something like $22,000 per annum. And I think if there's a child with special needs, there's an additional $2,000 that can be had for the assistance of those children going to school. If your child is still a dependent up to age of 25 and perhaps undergoing tertiary level education, college or university, and they're still considered a dependent, they too are entitled to the same kind of assistance.
The former minister also sharing that it is common in other countries around the world as well. In our case, the money comes from a consolidated fund that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has allocated.
We have many young Foreign Service officers some of whom are not married, who are quite capable, quite educated, quite prepared to represent the Bahamas in these areas and foreign missions abroad. But many of them are at home, whilst others are brought in and sent abroad without cognizance of these people who've been serving. And Reuben Rahman made the point in Senate yesterday that these young people are the ones who really educate us when we come into the foreign ministry for the first time.
While advocates are continuing to apply the pressure for legislation to criminalize marital rape, the push seems as if it's lost a bit of steam after Attorney General Ryan Pinder shared recently he doubts the Davis administration will move forward, reportedly fearing it could lose votes in the next election. The issue has been debated for months now among officials, church leaders, and the public. For Vice President of Human Rights Bahamas, Joseph Darville, the lack of progress is frustrating.
It's disappointing to hear that, because this has been discussed for a long, long time. And I don't know what is the motive of this. Why is it that taken so long to bring about this piece of legislation to protect the vulnerable women in this country?
In 2022, government drafted a bill that would criminalize marital rape. It was slated to be tabled in Parliament by the end of 2023. However, Parliament prorogued the Protection Against Violence bill was later passed. It sparked some controversy, with some touting the benefits, while others, specifically advocates, said it wasn't enough. Darville agrees.
It happens very often, and women just give up. And I mean, just like a woman says no, that should be no, whether it's outside of marriage or inside of marriage. Sometimes women are not in a position or not state of mind or body to be sexually active, and I think that should be respected by the husband. I think it would be a long stretch of being abused sexually without their consent.
Well, sunny and warm weather conditions as we're experiencing somewhat perfect weather in the capital. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Italia. Beautiful day around the islands today. High pressure still in charge, and we're going to continue to enjoy those beautiful conditions for the remainder of the week, as that high is not going anywhere anytime soon. 75 degrees outside our studios with a few clouds. Your winds out of the east at 10 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 76. Satellite radar composite, nothing much happening across us. As I mentioned, dry air mass in place courtesy of that high pressure. Tighter pressure gradient across the central and southeast Bahamas, so we have some breezy conditions down there. We also have that breeze picking up some Atlantic moisture, so we could see 1 or 2 spotty showers tonight through tomorrow. But all in all, it should be a very nice night and a beautiful week. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast still to come.
Still to come in our news, problems persist at the Acklins Airport. We have the details coming up. Plus,
is there a decline in conch? Well, I'm here in Pulaski Dock, where we'll hear from industry experts who say otherwise. Stay tuned to our news for more on this story.
And later, Freeport Fashion Week and Rip the Runway are just around the corner. We'll tell you how the Grand Bahama Port Authority is spotlighting local talent. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Diet-friendly special.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here, and you can see I'm filming new episodes here in one of the family islands, the one that has the pink snow. If you missed last season, you can catch it right now on our TV, Cable Bahamas, channel 212, with Dorian Missick and Simone Missick, Gibton. We had AJR and Cuba. So catch the repeats of the Charlie Bahama show, and just rest assured, I'm out here working hard for the new season.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me, Italia Hall, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation Chester Cooper are addressing concerns about airports that aren't properly lit. It's a real safety risk, especially in emergencies when a nighttime airlift might be necessary. Cooper, who was speaking outside the launch of the Google Street View coverage project, said improving the nation's airports and runways remain a top priority.
To be able to evacuate persons who are in distress, and therefore this is something that's top priority on my agenda. Today I will be getting a full update on all of the infrastructure of all of the airports across the islands, and we will urge the teams to consistently be proactive in terms of how we manage the multiple airports all across the islands.
And that is Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism and Investments Chester Cooper addressing concerns about airports that aren't properly lit. And when asked specifically about an update on upgrades to the Acklins runway, the minister had this to say.
I have a briefing on the matter. I can't speak specifically to it yet, but I will tell you that across the islands of the Bahamas, we are consistently working on upgrades. The Airport Authority manage all of the airports of the Bahamas, all across the islands, small and large, and we are committed to consistently improving the infrastructure.
While researchers are sounding the alarm on a declining conch population in the region, some fishermen and conch industry experts say there's no shortage. But what does the ministry have to say? Our Delvardo Emmanuel went on the hunt for answers today.
Department of Marine Resources is unaware of a possible conch shortage.
According to Director of Marine Resources Gregory Bethel, conch landings naturally decrease during the colder months. For decades, conch has been a staple of Bahamian cuisine and culture, but concerns over its dwindling numbers have been making headlines, with many restaurants saying they're out of the popular dish. However, when I visited Port of Ski Dock today in search of answers, seasoned conch fisherman Ed Brown insists the talk of conch shortage is misguided.
For years and years, and if I move 10,000 conch from there, when I go back the next week or 2 weeks, it's just like somebody dumped them there.
Marine scientists have presented data showing conch populations are at risk due to overfishing, saying younger conchs are being harvested before they can reproduce. This conch salad vendor agrees.
As long as they, what we do have is we have a lot of people that are collecting the juvenile conch. They don't want to go as far, or probably it's easier just to find them, but as long as we stick with leaving the juveniles, there will be no conch shortage, and there can be.
Now, Congressman here on Port of Ski Dock says the weather could play a role in the dwindling numbers.
If the weather is bad, the boat what out can't comes in, and the boat what in cannot goes out.
While there is no closed season for catching conch, to maintain the numbers, the director says the government has placed a size restriction on conchs, as well as discontinued export.
That the conch was being highly fished, and so there was a lot of pressure on the conch stocks. Okay. In addition to that, the queen conch has been placed on the CITES list of endangered species.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
When our news comes back from the break, what makes the perfect floral arrangement for Valentine's Day? We visit a local florist for the answer.
Coming up in sports, we've got hoops action from high school to the pros. The BAISS Finals gets underway. Coach Yo leads Ole Miss to another win over a ranked team, and Buddy Buckets looks ready for All-Star Weekend.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Unleash resilience. Secure the digital future. Navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats. The future will be secured. Presenting the Alive Business Cybersecurity Conference. Securing the future. Navigating cyber challenges in business. Thursday, February 20th, 2025, Atlantis, Paradise Island. Register today. This is how we unleash resilience. This is how we create innovation. Together, let's secure the digital future.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Don't spend hours.
Welcome to R Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinutt. Let's do show. Game 1 set the tone for each of the BAISS Championship Series as the finals got underway yesterday at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. The St. John's College Giants Junior Girls and Senior Boys, the Jordan Prince William Falcons Junior Boys, and the Kingsway Academy Saints Senior Girls are now all one way a win from their respective championship titles. In the final game of the night, the Giants Senior Boys pulled away in the second half for a 76-60 win over the Queens College Comets. Leonardo Roll led the Giants with 24 points, and Joshua Russell scored 18. Yalfer Gibson, Darren Moultrie, and Ron Demerit each finished with 8. Daniel Roll led the Comets with 21 points, and Devon Davis scored 10 off the bench. The Giants also won the first game of the afternoon when their junior girls defeated the C.W. Saunders Cougars 34-20. Zuri Hanna led a balanced Giants scoring attack with 8 points, while Melody Ferguson and Dania Roll each scored 6. Alyssa Bain led the Cougars with a game-high 12 points. In the senior girls division, the Saints had the most dominant performance of the night with a 40-19 win over the Giants. Andika Curtis outscored St. John's with a game-high 22 points, and Michaela Joseph scored 6. And finally, in the junior boys division, the Falcons defeated the Giants 51-42. Elijah Bain again led the Falcons with a game-high 22 points. Game 2 in each series continues Wednesday at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium beginning at 4 p.m.
Whether it's the addition of Jimmy Butler, surviving the trade deadline, or preparing for the three-point shootout, Buddy Hield is back on track. Hield finished with 16 points and 7 rebounds in his Golden State Warriors 125-111 win over the Milwaukee Bucks last night at the Pfizer Forum in Wisconsin. He shot 7 from 15 from the field, 2 from 8 from 3, and played over 28 minutes for the 4th consecutive game. With that increased playing time has come increased productivity. 4 consecutive games in double figures and averaging 13.2 points per game in February. Hield will represent the Warriors in the Starry 3-point contest February 15th at the All-Star Saturday night in San Francisco. The field also included reigning champion Damian Lillard looking for a record-tying 3rd consecutive title, Jalen Brunson, Tyler Hero, Norman Powell, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, and Cam Johnson. Hield is shooting 40% on the season and ranked 2nd in the league at 8 games with 5 or more 3-point field goals.
No matter the season, no matter the records, if there's one thing Coach Yo will have Ole Miss ready to do, it's beat the Kentucky Wildcats. And I'm not even taking it personally. Ole Miss defeated the number 8 Wildcats 66-57 at the SJB Pavilion last night in Mississippi. They improved to 16-7, 7-4 in the SEC. They're also on a 6-game winning streak over the Wildcats dating back to February 4th, 2021. Ole Miss has beaten the Cats 4 games in a row, while Kentucky is ranked in the top 25.
You know, here's the thing. As a coach, we don't win those games. Our players win those games. All right? We just give them the game plan, and my staff did a phenomenal job of that. All right? And we just leave it up to them. And then they have to win the game. So I was incredibly proud because I felt like our team wanted to win the game. From Madison Scott all the way to everybody that even didn't get in. And they did it, and we were just there to manage them. So
that'll do it for R Sports. This is 10YS. I feel like winning the 3-point contest this weekend is exactly what Buddy needs to get back on track.
I'm still waiting on the JJ Buddy 3-point contest at Kendall Isaacs.
Let's make it up. Well, you know what? We shouldn't put it out there. We should make it happen. Forget I said anything. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, roses or lilies. We head to a local flower shop to discover how to create the ultimate bouquet for your Valentine. Also, gorgeous skies and warm weather in the capital today. Greg is back with your weather details when our news continues. Stay with us. week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Unleash resilience. Secure the digital future. Navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats. The future will be secured. Presenting the Alive Business Cybersecurity Conference. Securing the future. Navigating cyber challenges in business. Thursday, February 20th, 2025. Atlantis, Paradise Island. Register today. This is how we unleash resilience. This is how we create innovation. Together, let's secure the digital future.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here, and you can see I'm filming new episodes here in one of the Family Islands, the one that has the pink snow. If you missed last season, you can catch it right now on our TV, Cable Bahamas, channel 212, with Dorian Missick and Simone Missick, Gibton. We had AJR and Cuba. So catch the repeats of the Charlie Bahama show, and just rest assured, I'm out here working hard.
This is Our News. Welcome back. Tranquil weather continues with us, courtesy of a ridge of high pressure that sits across us from the Atlantic. That's basically going to stay in place for most of the week. We're looking for temperatures to be into the low 80s, a little above normal. Tighter pressure gradient across the central and southeast Bahamas, so we'll keep some breezy conditions across it. But that high is going to stay, and it's going to actually keep most of the weather to the north of us. There's a strong storm system taking shape across the southeastern and eastern portion of the United States. That's going to move out of here, but by the end of the week, we expect that high to slide out towards the east. That's going to pave the way for a frontal boundary we expect to get here sometime by Saturday, Sunday time frame. Future forecast, not much moisture out there with us. Just a spotty shower or two, mainly in the open Atlantic, and that will continue through Thursday. And then here that front comes just before the weekend. It's going to fall apart, but it's going to get very near the Bahamas by the end of the week. Boating forecast, Northwest Bahamas, caution flag for the Atlantic still. Rip current risk also for that area. East to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming more southeasterly tomorrow. Seas 2 to 4 feet, but up to 5 feet in the Atlantic. High tide was at 7:12. Your low tide takes place at 1:18 in the morning. Central and southeast Bahamas, caution flag for you guys as well, but an advisory for the Atlantic. Rip current risk high, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots. It will be gusting high at times across the southeast Bahamas. Seas running 4 to 7 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, quiet and beautiful weather, mostly sunny with just a passing shower or two. Temperatures a little above normal. They will be in the low to mid 80s. Look like we're going to get 84 by Thursday, all ahead of a front. But those temperatures will stay rather warm. Nighttime temperatures will be in the low 70s. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
Thanks so much, Greg. Well, the Grand Bahama Port Authority is focusing on the island's creative economy with Freeport Fashion Week and Rip the Runway. The two major fashion events are part of the GBPA's 70th anniversary celebrations. The three-day event kicks off March 14th at the Stone Crab Restaurant with an opening night fashion show. On Saturday, March 15th, a fashion talk and beauty showcase will be held, and the grand finale will take place on March 16th at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom, where designers will compete. Chairman of the Freeport Fashion Week, Fatima Zarkaboub, says the event is a great opportunity to attract tourists to the island, while Human Resources Director of the GBPA, Dr. Talina Smith, says they are excited to support the initiative.
But it's also for us. It's a way of displaying our talent in Grand Bahama, be that designers, be that hair specialist, hairdresser, beautician, a model, accessory designer. This is a platform for you. This is what we're going to be showcasing for the whole of Grand Bahama, for the whole world to see, really, because now with social media, it's impossible to hide.
Last year, these shows proved that we have so much talent here on the island of Grand Bahama, and we, the Port Authority, are so proud to support these events, as these provide a platform for our designers, our licensees, and models to display their platform on a national level while encouraging future licensees.
Rip the Runway founder Tanisha Pryform says participating designers have been challenged to create unique straw dolls as a part of the showcase, while designer Anthea Bullard of the Heart Art Collection thanked the GBPA for giving them this platform.
As you're walking through the hallway, we want you to feel like you're actually in the International Bazaars. One night only, again, around the International Bazaar. There'll be some straw vendors. We'll have the glass blower, the wood carver. We'll have fire dancing. We're even looking to have Mango Man. So please, this is a night that you do not want to miss. But in the ballroom, we are going to transform the ballroom into the El Casino. So please come dressed to impress, because this is going to be epic.
A lot of the designers that showcased last year are excited about doing it again. So we have a lot of repeat designers, and they're just excited. Last year was the first time for them. We didn't know what to expect. I knew more because I was behind the scenes, but they're really, really excited. And I think they're going to bring their A game this time.
Right, sounds so exciting. I can't wait. Well, with Valentine's Day just around the corner, many are preparing to show love and appreciation to the special people in their lives. But what goes into making the perfect floral arrangement for this romantic occasion? We visited a local floral shop for the answer. Let's take a look. We're just a few heartbeats away from Valentine's Day, and over at the Nassau Florist, love is already in the air, with the shop fully decorated the moment you walk in. Owner James Whitehead says for decades, the flower shop has been helping customers express their feelings with stunning floral arrangements, but many have asked, what exactly makes the perfect floral arrangement for Valentine's Day?
Experience to do it.
He also explains during the busy Valentine's rush, his team sometimes works until midnight to ensure every order is ready and every flower is fresh, as a new batch of roses are just coming in.
Have to start early, getting everything in. You know, I mean, traditionally people want beers and chocolates, and that is what we have. You know, we've got some chocolates here, we've got beers here.
The owner says preparation starts weeks in advance to meet the high demand.
Well, we have to order the stuff beginning of January, because our flower suppliers, they want to know. They have to know what they have to order from the growers, you know. And we base it on previous years. You know, we keep records of what we did last year.
So what are customers asking for this Valentine's Day?
Tropical arrangements or spring arrangements, which would be maybe different colored roses and lilies and orchids, you know, so it's not all red. Well, they've got plenty of red roses coming in, but we try to cover everything.
I even got a chance to see how an arrangement is created. It can take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. The shop stays organized with hundreds of orders carefully listed and a full complement of staff to bring the arrangements to life.
We have all the big bows made, but they were made weeks ago. It has to be kind of like a factory, you know, and I'm a taskmaster.
All right, lovely arrangements. I hope one is for me. And of course, to see that story again is available now at ournews.bs. And with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening. Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.